Yo, what is up, everybody? It is me, That One Weep here, back with part 11 for What If Naruto Had Anti-Chakra. Now, if you guys are new to my channel or just are, looking around, maybe click on this video by chance, go up here to the top right-hand corner. You'll see a playlist with all previous 10 parts of the series so you can catch up and then come back to this video. If you like what I'm doing, make sure to hit the like button down here below. And while you're down there, you might as well subscribe if you want to. It's free. And yeah, we're going to be getting into this part now for What If Naruto Had Anti-Chakra, part 11. Oh, but before I do that, just really quickly, make sure to go check out my my top 5 Naruto jutsus. I posted it yesterday, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure to go check that out. Have a link in the description. Alright, anyway, that's enough interrupting. Let's actually get into the video now. Kill them all, Orochimaru would say. Yes. Kill. You're not Sasuke, Kakashi, Hinata, or Sakura. You're using the transformation jutsu, Naruto would say, his eyes looking dead. As Naruto begins loosening the seal on the Anti-Chakra corpse of Kurama, as Anti-Chakra began to rush over Naruto's body, he'd be far stronger now than he would have been just a few days ago before he had killed the entire Sand Village. With all that death energy, Naruto was at a skyrocketed level, with having mastery over the complete power of the inverse of what the Kyuubi had in terms of Anti-Chakra, along with the souls of the screams of cries of all those dying, ripped away from their bodies, their soul left this world, returning back into nature energy. Naruto would have access to this power, as thunder roars as the clouds overhead begin to shake, the heavens above even rumbling, with knowing what was going to be happening, in the bloody battle that was about to be partaken. As Naruto begins to take one step forward, the moment his foot leaves the ground, and it's about to land back down the dirt, everyone's watching. As time slows down, Sasuke would look up at Naruto for 1 second, as he barely is able to enter it in time. He would turn, using his Sharingan, as he uses all 3 Tomoe, barely even able to see what happened, as Naruto with his speed of using black KCM would be almost faster than light. As Naruto seemingly teleports, his hand reaching for Kakashi's throat. As he grips around it, Kakashi would begin to die, as he feels his throat getting crushed and his jugular now beginning to fill with blood, as his lungs are beginning to fill with water, blood, and saliva. Kakashi would be gagging for air as he grabs at Naruto's arm, ripping and pulling at Naruto's clothes, as he begins kicking, trying to activate Kamui and teleport either him and Naruto away, or teleport Naruto's arm off of himself. Immediately as the Kamui begins to take effect on Naruto, Naruto would focus as he would then glare at the point where Kakashi's Kamui was starting. Suddenly a wave of dark energy of Anti-Chakra, the same dark hands that would have been golden in the original timeline of Kurama, would begin to spread out as they grab the air. The chakra that was beginning to siphon would then be stopped, as the Kamui would be silenced. Naruto, with that split second, would have already begun pushing Anti-Chakra into Kakashi. Kakashi would be screaming inside as he can't speak. His voice is gone. All he can think is, "Obito, Rin, I'm so sorry. I'll be there soon." The moment he thinks this, as his Sharingan begins to fade, as Kakashi's life would begin to dim out, like a fading ember of the last of a flame. The final member of Team Minato, about to pass on to the next life. Suddenly from 2 sides, Naruto's arm would snap in 2 directions, as you see both Sasuke and Hinata entering Sage mode. Hinata's barely able to, with this emotional boost of seeing Kakashi, their team leader, die, would be able to access imperfect Lion Sage mode, the Sage mode she'd been training after she'd mastered the twin Lion Fists for as long as Tsunade had told her about how they think Anti-Chakra might work. Jiraiya and Tsunade had both begun training one student in order to learn how to master Sage Jutsu in order to fight Naruto. Sasuke and Hinata's blows would strike Naruto's body. As Naruto's forced to let go of Kakashi, he falls to the ground. Kakashi's neck and all of his nerve endings would have been fried, as he can't feel anything from the neck down. Hinata immediately falls out of Lion Sage when she falls to the ground, barely being able to control the nature energy and not transform into the beast itself. Sasuke would tell Hinata to stay down, that he's got this, as Naruto would snicker. "You idiots. You think you can really trick me into thinking you're my friends? They're safe. I left them back in Konoha. they wouldn't be here, Naruto would say as he's looking at them, now beginning to get confused as he saw that moment. And they would never hurt me. You're fakes, Naruto would say. Naruto's arm began to heal as Kurama's anti-chakra began to snap the bones back into place, as Naruto would tighten his fist, as power began to circulate into the area. Yamianshin! I don't think so, Sasuke would say. Sage Art, Frog Kumite, Chidori Slash. As Sasuke would then create the Sage Mode empowered Chidori, the two attacks would clash for the first time. Your chakra won't be able to do anything to me, Naruto would say, laughing. But what Naruto doesn't know is what's about to hit him right now. The nature energy of life and the death energy of Anti-Chakra would be clashing, as the two would actually get into a jutsu battle. What? Naruto would say. Why? Why isn't it nullifying? Damn it! More! More! He would charge Kurama's energy into his fist as he creates to make the Yamianshin bigger, bigger, bigger! As it grows in size, the ball of dark orbs begin to become unstable, as Naruto is losing control over the dark power. Naruto would say, "Take this!" as he covers his entire body with Kurama's anti-chakra, slamming the Chidori and Sasuke back. Sasuke wouldn't be able to handle it as Naruto's power is too strong. Sasuke, as long as Hinata, Sakura, and Kakashi would get hit by the Yamianshin. With Sasuke acting as a shield for the rest, he'd block the most of the blow, hoping that they don't die. Please, please, Sasuke would say, as he sees images of his mind of his family, Itachi murdering them, and then behind Itachi's eyes, he would see a flash of Naruto. Not the Naruto he had known, his friend. This monster, this tormented beast. Naruto would roar one more time, Yamianshin, as he slams the attack even harder into Sasuke. Sasuke would be seeing the darkness surrounding him, as if he thinks, this is the path that I wanted to walk down? Why? Why would anyone ever? Then he'd remember exactly what Hinata had told him. He made a trade. It should have been me. Sasuke would then be blown away, as both Sasuke, Kakashi, Sakura, and Hinata would get sent flying miles from the attack, as a huge crater would be pushed into the ground. Orochimaru would laugh, saying, yes, good. Very good. As he would then appear, Naruto would turn towards his master as he asks, what? Did you not see those imposters? Was that your doing, Orochimaru? Naruto would say with hostility, as Naruto still doesn't like Orochimaru. Orochimaru then with his tongue as he calms down Naruto, saying, shh, they're dead now. They're long gone, those traitors, those imposters. No, I didn't send them. It must have been the Leaf, or maybe some other village trying to get your power, Naruto. Naruto would then think, my power? Yes, power. I was powerful, Naruto would say, as he has small flashbacks and memories inside of him, seeing little flicks and images, almost like a gray picture of him training with Jiraiya and him fighting Tsunade, along with everything that happened during the Chunin exams. Now, another thing I'll elaborate on, since I didn't explain this too well the last time, I didn't really say who was doing it, but remember I said there was someone who was holding Naruto down and keeping him so that he wouldn't be able to move during the experiments, as well as when the sealing jutsu was taking place? This would be Jugo. Jugo would be near the scene, as Orochimaru would always have him around, and just in case Naruto went berserk or somehow broke out of the seal under his control. Since Jugo could also use nature energy, that being his clan's ability, he was almost a natural, perfect counter to Naruto's strength with his own monstrous power. As Orochimaru would laugh at the comparison. Come, let's return. We have much more to do, Orochimaru would say. Jugo, he would say. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. Finish off the scum, Orochimaru would say as he would direct Jugo towards the direction where they were blasted, knowing full well that Naruto had not killed them. Damn, the seals must not be perfect, he would say. We must perfect them. Deep inside of Naruto, he was restraining with all of his strength, refraining from trying to kill his friends, but it was too strong. He was far too gone to the darkness to completely hold back, as we would then see. Miles away, we would see in the sand, the entire group would be in complete tatters as their clothing would have been ripped and shredded. Kakashi would be in the worst condition as several of his bones were broken, blocking using his own body as he turned with all of his strength using his head to protect Hinata and Sakura, with Sasuke protecting all of them. Sasuke would have all of his clothes completely destroyed, but physically he'd be fine, as he was using Sage Mode covering his entire body with nature energy, acting like a shield to the Anti-Chakra. But I can't say the same for the others. Both of Hinata's legs would be broken, and Sakura's arm would be almost ripped off. There would be blood everywhere, as the two would be screaming in pain, with Hinata crying as she can feel the burn, the breaking of her bones. Sakura would be doing her best trying to close the wound on her arm, but it was just more blood coming out. Sasuke would stand up looking around the dusty wasteland. "Is everyone alright?" Sakura and Hinata would nod, as Sasuke would then look over to Kakashi. Kakashi would barely be breathing, as we see him breathing lightly, his lungs barely able to move at all after the Anti-Chakra. Kakashi's Sharingan had been deleted and destroyed after it had been completely covered with Anti-Chakra when Naruto grabbed his neck and filled his body with it, and so Kakashi couldn't even see out of that eye anymore. Kakashi was losing vision fast, and he felt something warm in his chest. He thinks it was blood. He broke 4 ribs, and he can't feel his right arm. Sasuke would be horrified as he would see the lower half of Kakashi's arm completely blown off. "Kakashi," Sasuke would say as he walks over. As Sasuke would fall to his knees, looking at Kakashi, he would turn him over, as Kakashi would be in horrible shape. His organs would have been completely busted up after his ribs were shattered. His arms and legs were mangled. His face was barely recognizable, and his mask was pulled down, but his jaw was almost ripped off. You couldn't even see anything but blood. Kakashi would look to Sasuke, his eye matching into Sasuke's eye, as with the rest of his strength, before he passes, Kakashi would be able to lift up his right arm, as with the last of his strength, his cold fingers dying, he would touch Sasuke's face as a tear comes down it. And then, Kakashi Hatake would die, passing on to the other world where he would greet his father, the White Fang, and they would have a long, long chat. Sasuke would be silent for a long time, as he just sits there feeling like time itself has stopped, paused. He never thought this would happen. "Kakashi," Sasuke would say. In our mind, we can see inside of Sasuke's heart the missions that they'd went on together for Team 7, Naruto protecting him during the Land of Waves, and everything that happened after that with Kakashi fighting Zabuza, Kakashi guiding them and teaching them how to tree walk, and Naruto complaining how he couldn't do it as he would run off and go complain as he would practice with the katana Kakashi gave him. We would see Kakashi smiling and laughing, as for the first time in so many years, he'd finally found a group of people, someone that reminded him of his team, his friends, Minato, Rin, Obito. They're waiting for him. As Kakashi would pass on to the other world, something would awaken within Sasuke. "No, it won't. I won't let his death be in vain." As we see a pan up on the camera up towards Sasuke's face, his 3 Tomoe Sharingan be flickering as he watched the death of his master and friend right before his very eyes, and he could do nothing. He couldn't have protected him. He failed. Naruto killed Kakashi. A burst of energy would rush forward from Sasuke as he punches his fist into the sand, causing the entire earth to shake, as his eyes begin to change as they transform into 2 Mangekyo Sharingan, as tears would be flowing out of them. The emotions he felt, the pure sadness and rage from seeing his master and close friend Kakashi after training so long with him, Master Jiraiya, and together, he had died. Sasuke would stand up as he begins walking towards the direction of where they had been blasted from, with the crater of sand already beginning to fill up after the winds from the Land of Wind already begin to re-sift the sand. Hinata would be shocked, broken, as the pain in her legs would completely feel numb compared to what she had just saw. Kakashi! Hinata would be in tears, as all she could think about is, "No, I didn't want to believe it was..." She would see the images of the villagers in the sand village, the entire village sent to ruins, the entire city having been destroyed. There's no way Naruto would never... She'd see the image of Naruto when they were kids, Naruto running in and punching the bullies as they were then running away, saying that he's scary, as Naruto would tell him to screw off, as he would then offer his hand to Hinata, and the moment she would take it, she would pass out. Was it my fault? Hinata would think. Did I push him away? She would see Naruto during the Chunin exams being shy and avoiding talking to her. Naruto felt guilty for everything he had done. He should have left her alone. He really did this, Hinata would say, as she reaches her hand for Kakashi. His own master, Naruto, he killed him. He killed all of them. Hinata began to break down to tears as she wails, feeling as if though the person she had loved, the boy who she had known, the boy who had saved her all those years ago, and the one who was so kind and had always been there and had been mistreated, but he had been a good person. He was dead. Hinata would fall to the ground as she has nothing to say as she feels empty. Sakura would say something as she cries out, telling Sasuke, "No, you can't go back there. He'll kill you. He'll kill you like he killed Kakashi-sensei," Sakura would say. We need to tell the Hokage. We need to send the Anbu after him. He's gone rogue, Sasuke," she would say, as she's already almost done healing her arm. "Sasuke, please. Please, Sasuke, I can't lose you too. Not you and Naruto," Sakura would say, as she cries out to him. Sasuke would simply turn his head towards her, as she would see, but being shocked, gasping, as she sees the darkness in his eyes, and the hope he has, as tears run down Sasuke's face with the Mangekyo Sharingan activated. In Sasuke's hand would be the headband that Kakashi had worn, as he walks out into the sand. Sakura would help Hinata as she begins healing her legs, as Hinata is just an empty shell, not knowing what to do or think or what she should do. She wanted to save Naruto, but how do you save that? How do you save something so horrible? Hinata loved Naruto, and seeing what he had done, had broke her heart. She was shattered. Sakura knew the feeling of seeing someone you love almost die. She would have seen Sasuke falling to the ground back during the Land of Waves, and the emotions that had overcome her heart. She would be feeling this sympathy for Hinata as the two would sit in the sand, the winds furling their hair as the empty desert would call back to them. We would hear every echo of Sasuke's footstep, and Sasuke was pissed. He gripped Kakashi's headband as he ties it over his own head. "I will avenge you, Kakashi-sensei," Sasuke would say, as he begins his trek back. Suddenly we would hear a blast. As chakra began moving at fast speeds, Sasuke would already sense it. With him accessing Stage Mode and his Mangekyo Sharingan at the same time, Jugo would come blasting out, saying, "Time to die!" Sasuke would look up, his eyes locking with Jugo's as he's approaching him. Sasuke wouldn't move. The moment that Jugo was about to touch Sasuke, Sasuke would raise his fist directly under his chin, using full power Sage Mode. He didn't care anymore. After seeing what happened to Kakashi, death was the only thing he had on his mind. Jugo gets sent flying into the air, his jaw almost shattering as his teeth would have fallen out. "Damn it," he would say. "I'll kill you," he would say, as he would then access his cursed energy, as well as his nature energy. "So you can use nature energy too, huh?" Sasuke would say. "Well, it's not like that's any use against him, now is it? Otherwise he wouldn't have." Jugo would then tell him, "Stop talking to yourself and fight me." "I said, shut up." Sasuke would look upwards as he would activate the Amaterasu, covering Jugo. What's happening?" Jugo would say, as Sasuke would begin to crush the Amaterasu, controlling the flame control around Jugo's body. As Jugo's body began to burn away. "Burn out," Sasuke would say. Jugo would scream as he disappears, Orochimaru's curse mark disappearing with him, and all that'd be left of Jugo would be the little ashes of his clothes, his hair, and skin, flowing as they disappear, crackles of dust into the land of sand, the land of wind, an empty barren wasteland now, which once had been lived in by thousands of people. Their lives ended instantly. Sasuke would then deactivate the Amaterasu. The only feeling that Sasuke could feel inside of his chest, his heart, was sorrow. Sorrow for his friend, sorrow for what he had failed to do. I should never have been taken so easily. "I'm so weak," Sasuke would say. Sasuke would look at the ground. If I hadn't done that back then. He would see himself failing during the Land of Waves, almost dying, and Naruto having to run in and save him. "If I didn't rely on him to do everything," Sasuke would say, as we then see the Chunin exams with Sasuke getting brutalized by Gaara, and Naruto swooping in and saving the day, taking down Gaara. We would see a flashback to the Uchiha Massacre, Itachi telling Sasuke that he's too weak, and he needs hatred in order to grow strong. If I If I only... Sasuke would pound his fist into the ground. Damn it. Damn it! If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto had Anti-Chakra, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below, F for Kakashi. And thanks everyone for watching this far. You might as well subscribe if you want to, so you can catch the next video. And we'll be getting to part 12 in either a week or sometime before that, depending on how well this video does. Anyway, thanks everybody so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is more of a sad part after what happened during the last part of the series. I hope you guys liked it though, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.